の未来願いすべて託す
Hello and welcome to DillyDally. We're playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm Dylan and I'm here with Stevie. Stevie, you want to say anything to the people at home?
Yeah, I'm actually super excited to play this. This is my first kind of like LP stream type thing. I love Kingdom Hearts. I know, Dylan, you haven't played any game
None
in this
of them.
franchise.
I know.
And I'm sure with this being the 9th game in this franchise, we will have no trouble picking up everything. No, but for real, for people watching that don't really know anything about Kingdom Hearts, people always rag on it for having a very confusing storyline. And I wouldn't say it's confusing, it's more like there's just a lot of stuff to remember. Because it's 9 games and each one is crucial to the plot. Which is, maybe that's not the way he should have done it, but I still love it, even as stupid as it gets. So we're just going to do a new game on standard.
Proud mode?
Yeah.
Is that the mode where, like, instead of Kingdom Hearts music, it plays the Proud Family theme throughout it?
I wish. I'm surprised. I hope there's a Proud Family world in the next one.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool. There's like peanuts everywhere. So, I know we've talked about it quite a bit, but like, in comparison to all of the other games, how would you rank this one?
I would say this is probably one of the best ones.
Yeah.
So for a long, the chronology of like everything kind of got screwed up.
Right.
And we might be entering a block scene in just a second. Also, get ready to these goofy loading screens.
Oh man.
Yeah, they decided to add a weird like Instagram type thing into this. And like sometimes they'll have a picture of stuff, and this will be more prominent when we get later into the later game. Mm-hmm. But it'll be stuff that is like serious emotional moments, but then we'll have like hashtags next to it, and it's so stupid.
The main character dies, and then Goofy's just like, take out the trash.
So for those of you that don't know, between
wow, this
is the first this last Kingdom Hearts game, if you don't count one of the ones that was put in the HD collections to come out, was released in 2012. The series started in 2002, and each game has been kind of building to this. So there was kind of like a lot of expectations. I was really worried it was going to be bad. 2 is held as like kind of the watermark for the series, because they improved a lot of the combat, a lot of the worlds, like the structure of them was a little bit better than 2, but there really hasn't been anything since then that people have considered to be better. I would say this is probably as good as 2. It's really like the amount of like stuff that's wrapped up in this is. It's so satisfying. So, just some backstory. The guy on the left is the main antagonist of this whole arc. And his name is Xehanort. And the guy across from him is named Ericus, which is just an anagram of square, because there's also Yen Sid, who is the wizard from the Sorcerer's Apprentice from Fantasia.
Oh, gotcha.
And his name is an anagram of Disney.
Never heard of him.
Oh.
Where'd you hear
So they made their own character, and they're just kind of talking about some backstory, like an ancient tale. And
I'm not following you.
trivia note: young Ericus here is voiced by Drake Bell.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Like in this game?
Yeah.
On that land shall darkness prevail and light expire.
His this is the first time we see him this young. Also, just heads up, everyone, we're gonna be talking over like cutscenes a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll try and do my best not to like do it over certain scenes, but
It's already
No, it kind of. So when Dallas and I started playing Bioshock, we were kind of
I'm
like,
not so sure about that.
you know, this playthrough isn't for like
People say I
people who
can't
really
change
want to
it.
be engrossed in the
Maybe.
story. It's
Yeah.
more like yeah, you can get a lot out of it, but like, you know, we're here to host a show, and so like,
and to be fair, like
But things
Bioshock's
aren't
pretty
as
well
bad
known
as they
in
think.
terms of like
that
what
yeah,
happens in that
exactly.
But
game.
unlike darkness, there's more to light than meets
And
the eye.
I mean, obviously we'll have
You might
subs
be
on.
surprised.
But I think this is basically the framing device of this whole story,
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah,
which is cool because
that's Xehanort, right? White-headed dude.
so the whole thing is Xehanort is gathering 13 darknesses. Yeah,
Right.
so it's paused here.
Okay.
But
Well-
you can easily find this. It's the opening song, which a lot of the openings of Kingdom Hearts are kind of anime-esque, I would say, because they really delve into like, you know, what the game's gonna be like, and this one is the best one. This is the best opening in my opinion.
So, and just to like be totally clear for those watching, like, because Stevie was telling me, because there's a lot of like reenactment of like Disney things, and for copyright reasons, like the PlayStation won't let us record them, and even if we tried to record them, we'd probably get copyright strikes. So, I don't know what's gonna be on screen right now, but we can at least just talk about what we're watching. There's some sad boys and some music. That looks like a scene from the Deathly Hallows. So, what exactly is this? Just like a recap of things happening right now?
Yeah. So this is like that. This is summarized Birth by Sleep. Okay. So like the series, I'm gonna try and use like Star Wars and Harry Potter metaphors to kind of
stuff that I know.
Yeah. So basically, everyone has keyblades, which are like wands or lightsabers. Or not everyone, but there's a lot of people that have them. And they are imitations of like the original keyblade, which is used to unlock Kingdom Hearts, which is the heart of all worlds. This is from the DS game 358 over 2 days, which takes place in between 1 and 2, and so basically to forge that the Keyblade, which it's spelled with an X, like the Greek letter key.
Yeah, key.
Which I think is kind of dumb, but whatever. He like in the Birth by Sleep, he was trying to forge it to unlock Kingdom Hearts to start a Keyblade war, which is what happened long ago in the past, which is what they were talking about during the chess game. He was like, you know, I messed up. It's not supposed to be like a half of darkness, half light. I need 13 darknesses and 7 lights for a reason I won't really explain.
Yeah.
So he's gotten 13 people that are like blank slates and put his heart in them. Kind of, they're basically like 13 Horcruxes. So like everyone you see is either a version of him or like someone that has his heart in them. And then you have to gather 7 Guardians of Light, which as of right now there is only 3 or 4 actual active ones. There's Sora, our main character right here. There's Riku, and there is Mickey with 2 other characters being trained, Axel/Lee, which I'll get into later, why he has 2 names, and Kairi, who's like the main female protagonist.
Okay, we're back for a second. We might have to do another slight pause, but just to check audio and everything.
But Tetsuya Nomura, this guy's the creator and director of these games and also writer, has been kind of accused of like not being able to write female characters well.
Right.
And you'll kind of see that later. It's out of like 4 female heroines, only one of them is sort of effective.
Right. Okay, and we're back for good. So
Yeah.
we're
So
gonna this will be good.
so I'm just gonna take like 2 seconds here. So this thing is called Dive to the Heart, or like the Station of Awakening. It was the very first like tutorial area for Kingdom Hearts, and most Kingdom Hearts games actually start with this. One of the things that was a really cool detail is the PS2 couldn't handle like the way the stained glass looks. It was just a flat surface.
Right.
Whereas like this actually shows like some depth to it, and the character looks different. This is how Sora looked in Kingdom Hearts 1, actually.
I gotta say, just from like these first opening minutes and everything, like this is gorgeous.
It's
like,
a really pretty game.
I mean, man.
It unfortunately does not, like, the Kingdom Hearts games were really cool in that they always kind of looked really good for the era. Like,
Right.
Like they made PSP games look like pretty much like PS2 games. Some of the stuff on the 3DS looks way better than it should. They had one of the things they're really notable for is during like really special scenes when people are talking, the articulation on like in people's faces and in their mouths specifically is always like surprisingly really well detailed for like PS2, you know.
Right.
And so this is a cool little thing. Also, Sora is now in his Kingdom Hearts 2 garb. Is in the first Kingdom Hearts, there was basically a pedestal going like, which do you choose? And it was a rod symbolizing the mystic. There was a sword resembling the warrior, and there was a shield representing the guardian. And based on what you picked and other questions you would do, led to you, like, it basically determined how fast you leveled up and where your stats were allocated.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm just gonna choose balance. And these were always really cool. Well, this isn't exactly the exact analog. I think the next 3 sets, and all of these floating things, of course, are things that have happened in previous games.
Right.
Which is also really cool.
Just like there's a lot of like, hey, remember all this stuff that you done? Like, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's like paying homage to everything. Well, because like it has been, I guess it's kind of necessary. It has been away for 12 years.
Yeah.
So, or has it been 13?
Oh, I think it's been 13.
Oh, wow.
Which is funny that because 13 is such a number that crops up.
Right.
So I think this is the Mystic, warrior, and guardian. Which is weird that, okay, so that scene is from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. And I'll just show that a little. These are a little bit shortened, but most of the like that's from Dream Drop, and this is from, it's notable because it's from Kingdom Hearts. Well, it's from 2.
Right.
In the base level that we got here, this was a cutscene. That's you versus another character named Roxas. However, when Japan got a re-release called Final Mix, which most of the Kingdom Hearts games have, where they add like extra content and stuff like that, and we didn't get them until they re-released a HD remaster of like most of the games. So I'm just gonna pick this as Warrior. The in the first game, when they had the descriptions of these, they were like these a little bit longer, but they were like super cool, like descriptions of which each one were. And it, like, this tutorial was really great at setting up this cool mystique, and especially with like the stained glass and like the choir that we're hearing in the background, kind of set like a weird religious feel to it, or at least like it was this really weighted thing.
Yeah, I gotta, so I don't know if I've ever told you this, but when I was in like 4th grade, Kingdom Hearts, like I had heard about it and I had seen it in like Blockbuster and everything, and I so badly wanted to play it. I had no idea what it was, but I was like, man, it's just like running around, hanging out with Disney characters
Mm.
and like being a swordsman with a key. Like that sounds awesome. But I didn't have a PlayStation. And I was talking to a friend about it, and he's like, "Oh, I have a copy of it for GameCube," which, by the way, doesn't exist.
Oh,
But
it's one of those like when you were young and people had all these lies about
right,
stuff.
and
Oh man.
and dude, he was like, "Yeah, you can borrow it if you want." And so, like, to show you how much of a dork I was like, "Let me make sure with the teacher that it's okay that you bring a video game to school so you can
God.
get." So I checked with her, and she was
Oh,
like, "Yeah,
no.
you can." Needless to say, he came up with a million excuses, and I never got my copy of Kingdom Hearts for the
God.
GameCube.
Why do I never got why I never really told any of those lies when I was young.
I didn't either.
Oh, so this is a cool thing. This enemy is called a dark side. It is the tutorial boss from the original game. God, I like part of me wishes like we had the time to like literally do all the old games.
Right.
Because there's a couple things I could gush about, but I'm not. But yeah, like going back to what you were saying, like it was crazy how much like kids used to lie back in the day.
I know, man.
And like super easy lies. Like when Yu-Gi-Oh kind of blew up, I remember having friends of mine in the 4th grade steal cards out of my backpack.
Oh my god.
And like one was like this holographic like trap card in Japanese.
Oh,
And
man.
then when he like used it while playing Yu-Gi-Oh against me, I called him later and I was like, yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's mine. And he's like, no, there was an extra card in that pack I got. Oh, you mean the one you said you threw away 2 days ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, sure. Okay.
That's so funny. I also have a story about a guy lying to me about Yu-Gi-Oh. I had just started getting into it, and I was like, "Oh man, this is cool." And I think I had like maybe 10 cards, and I want to say I somehow had a Dark Magician. Like I don't know how, but I was like, I didn't know anything about it. I had just seen like an episode of the show, and I was like, "Man, Dark Magician, he's cool. Yugi uses him." And then this guy that was like an older kid in our neighborhood was like, "Oh hey, I'll trade you this summoned skull for Dark Magician." And I was like, "Why would I do that?" And he's like, "Well, summoned skull's a lot stronger." And I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah." And so I traded with him, and as soon as he took the card out of my hand, he's like, "Ha, gotcha." And I was like, "Well, give it back. Why'd you lie to me?" And he's like, "Nope, too late." And then he left.
Jesus.
I never played Yu-Gi-Oh.
I remember me and a friend of mine tried to hustle a kid out of Egyptian god cards they said he had. And to be fair, this story is not going to make me sound great. We were, I think, maybe like 10 or 11 or something like that. Like maybe middle school, like maybe, late elementary school. And we found this kid who was like 6 that said he had Egyptian god cards. And the kid also couldn't read that well.
Right.
So what we did is my friend had a set of cards. They were like the death cards. So where if you had all 5 of them, you win the game instantly.
Oh, yeah.
So
Exodia.
I would shuffle both of their decks, but I would place those 5 cards on top. And then so the first game would start. And then you would just pull out these 5 cards and goes, okay, I win. You have to give me those god cards now. And so we followed it. Like the kid's like, okay, but you can't come in my apartment because my mom is, she hurt her leg and she's sleeping. I'm like, okay. And we waited outside for like 30 minutes. The kid opens his door and goes, I don't have them. And then shuts it. I'm just like,
my gosh.
Okay. Like, I mean, to be fair, it's not like we earned them.
Yeah. Well, we're a little over time, so I apologize about the. Is there anyone? Oh, cool. There is a way to pause. I apologize for the longer episode, but there was a lot to go through. So, dude, Kingdom Hearts, we're in it. I'm excited. Do you have anything you want to say after your first episode?
No, I'm just looking forward to getting more into the game. Sorry for I'm gonna ramble on a lot in these episodes.
No,
honestly.
you're good, dude. Well,
I'm just gonna gush about this game.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see you all in the next episode. Peace out.